welcome back to The Currents, the quick response news program from JCTIC College,
where we report on the latest issues, events, and culture. I'm Larry.
And I'm Charlene. Oh my goodness, Larry, did you see what happened at Sharp Island last week?
What? Sharp Island? Huh?
Yeah, a bunch of tourists were caught on video totally destroying and wrecking the coral reefs and causing so much—
Whoa, too fast. What is Sharp Island?
Wait, you don't know Sharp Island?
I do, but I bet a bunch of students don't. Am I right?
Okay, I'll slow down. Sharp Island is an island off Sai Kung that is basically one of Hong Kong's hidden underwater treasures and part of Hong Kong's UNESCO Global Geopark. It's got these amazing coral communities and tons of marine life that we've been trying to protect since the 1990s. The cool thing is that the water is pretty shallow, so it's super easy for anyone with a snorkel or kayak to get up close and see the coral for themselves. But that's also the problem, because one wrong step can crush coral that took decades to grow. Is that good enough?
Definitely. Now you can say what happened.
Thanks. Just last week, marine conservation groups reported another incident of coral trampling at Sharp Island, with visitors literally walking and standing on the coral reefs to take photos and videos. We're talking about people treating these living organisms like stepping stones, completely ignoring the warning signs and designated swimming areas. And this isn't a one-off thing. It's become such a regular problem that environmentalists are now calling for stricter enforcement, and even questioning whether we're ready to handle ecotourism responsibly.
That's right. To be more specific, over 4,000 visitors descended on Sharp Island in just that one day. And it wasn't just coral trampling. People were digging up marine organisms like sea cucumbers and starfish. Some were even setting up illegal barbecues right on the beach. And the amount of trash left behind was absolutely insane. The AFCD responded by increasing patrols and issuing warnings. But here's the thing, they can only fine people up to 25,000 Hong Kong dollars for damaging coral. And catching someone in the act is really difficult when you've got thousands of visitors and only a handful of officers.
So, what should we do to protect Sharp Island? And shall we even try?
Let's go to some students who might actually have a clue, members of the Green Club, and see what they think.
What do you think about what happened at Sharp Island last week?
I think it's a really bad thing because a lot of corals are damaged. And the corals are actually homes of a lot of fish.
I think it is a very bad news because it is a beautiful place and a lot of tourists will go there to take photos or have an unforgettable experience. But too many people damage the corals and they damage the environment.
I think it was pretty predictable.
What do you mean?
I mean, because there's so many people going there, it was already bound to happen that there would be overcrowding.
I think it's a tragedy because we shouldn't destroy the nature that we have.
I think it is heartbreaking, and it is also a good lesson for us to think about how to balance between tourism and also environmental conservation and education.
What can we do about it?
We can probably make people who damage the corals pay a fine or something.
Should they be allowed to walk on the corals?
No, because if they walk on the corals, it will damage the corals even more.
If we see people going on the corals, we should tell them to stop.
I think what we can do is to stop others to keep destroying it.
I think we need to do several actions from education, from monitoring the number of visitors, and also do some control. I think all these three aspects that we need to enforce as to minimize the number of people and cause less damage to the natural environment.
What's one behavior you change to lower people's impact when they visit?
Don't throw the rubbish everywhere, but just throw them into recycle bins or trash cans.
Don't allow them to go to there, just let them to take photos and don't go there for some events.
So you don't think people should go there at all?
If they go there, don't get out the boat and don't go on the corals.
I think they should stop touching corals and standing on them because it is bad. I mean, they were even taking pieces of it.
I think maybe encourage people around me to bring lunchbox there because I know that the food packaging will destroy the nature and many tourists will bring food package to there and can't throw it in the rubbish bin.
For me, as an environmental educator, I will educate the public to practice leave no trace principles by not stepping on the fragile surface, especially on the beach.
If Sharp Island gets overcrowded, should there be things like limited access and permits to entry, or just better education?
I think it should be limited access so that you can just allow few people to go there and it won't cause maybe a big damage.
I think there should be both limited access and education, because people can know what not to do there and still do it.
I think we do need to have a permit.
I think both, limiting the number of tourists and also having the permit and also education. I think all these should add all together as to protect our natural environment by all means.
Would you accept a small conservation fee on peak days if it funded rangers and boardwalks to better protect the coral and habitats?
Probably not a fee, because if you make some fees, you're going to lose a lot of visitors.
No, I don't think so. Maybe they will lose a lot of tourists.
Yes, I think we should do fees because it is the least we can do to protect this beautiful environment.
I don't think it's a good idea to have a fee because it's our responsibility to protect the nature. We don't need to have an extra fee to do this action.
Yes, those fees are widely used to protect the environment and also having the basic setup that can minimize the disturbance to the environment.
This whole topic is basically ecotourism.
What is ecotourism?
Ecotourism is when you travel to natural places to experience and learn about the environment. But you're supposed to do it in a way that doesn't trash the place or harm the wildlife. It's tourism with a conscience.
But Larry, if that's all about going to at-risk places, isn't ecotourism kind of bad?
It depends on how you visit and whether there are rules that protect the places at the right times. Experts talk about carrying capacity, or how many visitors a site can handle before it starts to degrade. On a narrow sandbar or exposed reef flat like Sharp Island, that number can be low, especially at low tide.
And because corals grow slowly, some only a few millimeters a year, one careless step can undo years of growth.
So, if you go see these areas, be very, very careful.
Hong Kong actually has a bunch of other sensitive areas too. Let's see if students know some.
What are some other areas in Hong Kong that you think need protecting?
Maybe the wetlands, because the wetlands, including Hong Kong Wetland Park, because a lot of birds and also animals live there.
Maybe the country park or some wild place. Because many wild animals or some insects, fishes live in this place, and we should protect them well so that they won't die and have a place to live.
I think we should protect the small rivers because there are many rare animals that live there, like mud skippers and rare crabs.
I think everywhere because Hong Kong is a beautiful city and everywhere should have protecting. It's also precious.
There are two places in my mind. One is a Maipo Nature Reserve. The second one is Ha Bak Lake. That is famous mud flats. I think these are gorgeous and worth protecting.
Does visiting these qualify as ecotourism?
Yes, because it teaches us about the importance of wetlands.
No, they're just going outside.
If in Maipo you are guided by a guide, that is an ecotourism.
Does ecotourism always help nature?
Well, not really, since ecotourism may also cause a lot of people to go, and there may also be pollution.
Yes, I think it is good because everybody wants to see beautiful things. We just have to be careful.
No, I think nature without people is better.
So we should never see the places that are special.
We can see them online.
Can be a yes, can be a no. For ecotourism, you are supporting the locals and you are hiring the local guide. So on one hand, you are having the financial support for them to manage the site. That is a yes. You have more resources to protect the environment. But can be a no because that would encourage more visitors to go to that place. That would cause extra damage. In short, I think you always need to balance between the whole thing.
Hong Kong really is more than just a big packed urban area.
That's so true. People around the world don't realize this, but Hong Kong ranks 10th globally in terms of percentage of land designated as protected areas or country parks.
And some of our many special protective areas include Hai Ha Wan Marine Park, where swimming fins, anchors, and even some sunscreen chemicals can harm corals and larvae.
We also have bat caves. Bats are sensitive to disturbance though, so noise, lights, and flash photography can cause them to abandon their roosts.
And we have wetland areas, like Mai Po and the Inner Deep Bay wetlands, that are world-class staging areas for migratory birds. However, in those areas, drones, loud groups, or wandering off trails can disrupt feeding and nesting. If they scare the birds and they fly away, or wear them out because they can't rest, that's energy the birds can't afford to lose for their long migrations.
But since the big news right now is bad behavior at Sharp Island, here are 3 simple tips for all of us, students and families, before, during, and after a visit.
First, before you go to Sharp Island, check tide times and avoid extreme low tide if the route crosses sensitive flats. Plan your path. Bring a small trash bag. Choose reef-safe sunscreen or wear long sleeves.
Second, while you're there, stay on marked paths and firm sand. Don't step on rock pools, seagrass, or coral. Keep noise low near wildlife. No drones around roosts.
Third, after you go, pack up and take out all of your trash. Share low-impact tips on your socials. If you see damage, report it to the AFCD, country park staff, or local NGOs.
And if you're organizing a school trip, consider visiting outside peak hours, briefing students on leave no trace, and coordinating with guides who know sensitive zones and seasons.
At the end of the day, Hong Kong's wild places, Sharp Island, coral reefs, bat caves, Maipo, are not just backdrops for photos. They're living systems with limits.
When we visit with respect, we're keeping these systems alive for everyone, today and tomorrow.
Let's be curious, but also careful and proud guardians of Hong Kong's nature.
Well, that's it for this episode of The Current.
Thanks for watching, and next time you're out in nature, tread lightly. Bye.